Hey everybody, I wanted to create a video on the new GPT-4o audio preview added to the chat completions endpoint in OpenAI. So I put together a quick Gradio app that I'm going to walk through, show you how to install and do a little bit of code walkthrough as well. And yeah, get you guys started. This is fun for me. And I love creating audio and podcasts and turning text to speech or speech to speech. This also can convert or summarize or interact with YouTube videos. Added a little bit of extra functionality there. So let's get right into it. This is the GitHub, and just called it GPT-4o Audio Preview. And the quick way to install it is to, of course, clone the repo. And we'll come over here, I'll show you. I've already got it cloned over, and I've already got my environment set up. If you're new to Python, you can certainly just have Python installed and then click the startup.bat file. And this is a batch file that will set up your environment for you and also install the requirements automatically and launch the application. If you've already have it installed, this will just simply launch the application. So it's like a streamlined way to launch things. You don't have to open up a command window or set up the environment and install everything. It just it's more like a exe, it's a little easier to use. All right. So now that we have it launched, mine runs on 7861 localhost, but yours might run on 7860 if you don't have any other applications running on those ports. And this is what it looks like. Audio tab, YouTube tab. With the audio tab, I just have simple instructions put in right now, like respond with audio. You can use text and audio, or you can just use text, or you could just use audio. But I found that without a little bit of text, it kind of sometimes has a little bit of trouble. Like it wants to respond in just text sometimes. So I don't know, having a little bit of an input prompt telling it what to do, I have found more success with personally. This is an expensive API to use. We'll go back to OpenAI here. Here's the documentation on it. It also goes through multi-turn conversations, and I'll go through that in an actual code implementation on our side. But it is expensive to use. Just in testing to build this thing this morning, it's probably cost me like $5 or something. So let's just start with a demo, and then we'll get into the code side. So respond with audio, I can click the record button here. It pops up. You have microphone choices. You can change the source, and you might have to authorize it the first time, like allow it. I've already done that though. And then you'll click record. Hey, this is a test. I just want to see if you're working. You can listen back to the audio. Hey, this is a test. I just want to see. And then you can clip it if you wanted to, or close this and re-record it, replay it, change the speed. You can also change additional inputs like the voice. We have it set on Alloy. The documentation talks about Alloy and Echo, but I found that you can actually use all the voices, so Fable, Onyx, Nova, and Shimmer. And then you just hit submit. Takes a few seconds to go to space and back.
Hello, I'm here and working. How can I assist you today?
And I got it so it auto plays back. You can also change the speed.
Hello, I'm here and working. How can I assist?
So you can also download the file, and it comes in as a WAV file. And that'll allow you to play it, use it in other systems, whatever you want to do. So that is that. And you can do this without audio. You can, here, let's just reset. We'll say respond with audio. So you can just, this is a free text. I have it set to just auto populate respond with audio, but you can certainly change it. Tell me a short joke. And so see, I don't have audio added, and I could just hit submit.
Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts.
So it tells you a short joke. So you can use text or audio. I believe I can also just take the text out and just use audio. Let's move on to the YouTube demo. So I just have a real simple clip in here from Heath Cortez's 1 minute, from his first 1 minute where he got his golden ticket from Kill Tony. So if you don't like comedy, maybe this one's not for you, but you can change this URL to any YouTube video that you want. You can change these instructions. Right now, just have it reviewing the clip and trying to make its own version of it. This will take a few seconds, to go and retrieve. And so essentially what we're doing here is getting the YouTube video, separating out the MP3 from it, converting it to data that the API can use, sending it there, and then getting it back and parsing the response.
I've got this feeling that I'm the total opposite of a pedophile. Yeah, I know it's
It
weird,
laughed.
but hear me out. I'm 21 years old, but from the outside, I look like a kid. Puberty was like my dad. You know, never there. So I'm constantly getting asked about my age. Like, how old are you? Are you sure you're not trying to sell me some drugs? It's maddening to have to answer that all the time. So I started having fun with it. I'll tell folks, nope, I was never born. I've been around since the beginning of time, and I'll be here until the end. Because I'm ageless. But don't worry, I'm old enough to date your mom.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So like we got some laughs in there. We also got some background noise. I wasn't going to play the whole clip, but whenever she laughed, I thought it would maybe be valuable to listen to the whole thing. And if you'd heard it about halfway through, there was like ambient background noise. So it does actually try to like recreate the environment a little bit and some of the background noise. And, it's pretty cool. So there you go. You can pop in any YouTube video. You can change the voice of this as well. And get audio back. Okay, now that I've done the demo, also just before I flip over to the code, for those that are unfamiliar with Gradio, if you're building like applications upon stuff, you can use this to spin up your own API. So this, comes with 2 API endpoints because of the 2 tabs, and it also comes out of the box with the documentation from that. So you could, this opens up ports, so you can use that and straight up use this as a secondary API. It gives you even other code languages, which is pretty cool. I love Gradio personally. This is Gradio 5, the newest version. But let's get into the code side. So our main program is just main.py, and we'll open that up and check it out. So we start by, setting up Gradio, importing our module for our, it's not actually the real-time response. I should probably change that function name, but it's the chat completions module. I like to separate things out into modules, as you kind of see here. So you have the modules for, it's just one module for the get OpenAI response, but as you kind of build the complexity, you definitely build more into there. And I probably should have separated out even a little further, but wanted to get this, quickly spun up for everyone and give everyone a chance to start playing with it. So we initialize the audio tab, put a little markdown in there, set up the audio module, and then a little drop down for the voice. And then we set up an interface for chat. Now there's probably a lot of ways to do this. You could use maybe their new real-time interface, certainly, or chat interface doesn't have the option to do multiple outputs as far as I'm aware. And this is where you kind of need these multiple outputs to be able to do multimodality. There's a multimodality input module as well. However, it only accepts text or file, and it doesn't let you use your microphone yet. I know there's some PRs out there to try to get that updated, but this is how it exists today. And then I add flagging mode never just to remove that button. I don't need flagging in this. And then we have the YouTube module, which is pretty much the same thing, except for we insert a YouTube link instead. And then you launch the Gradio application. Now let's go up to the other module for get OpenAI response. And at the beginning, remember, here's where we imported that in. And you set up your API key. This module converts your audio to base 64. I am probably a little excessive here with my separation of these. I could probably condense some of this, but I kind of, I have some established workflows in other projects that for quickness and speed, I just kind of brought them in here and then cleaned them up a little bit. This one converts a WAV file to NumPy. Everything worked before I added this. However, when I downloaded the file, click this little download button here, it was downloading as a raw audio file, and I wanted it to be something I could use, like a WAV file or MP3 or whatever. So this will convert that in a way that Gradio will pick it back up. And then this one extracts the MP3 from YouTube. You could use this for a lot of stuff, downloading YouTube videos, getting the audio, whatever, scraping, whole YouTube channels for videos. I use this library a lot. It's called PyTube Fix. PyTube was like the original one, and it stopped being maintained, and PyTube Fix is now being maintained, and it works pretty well for me. And then here's our main function for real-time response. And again, I probably should change the name of that, but it checks for audio data. If there's audio data, it tries to extract the MP3. If there's no URL, then it'll skip over to convert that audio data to base 64. If there's text, it adds the text. If there's not, it doesn't. Same thing if there's audio, it adds the audio. If there's not, it doesn't. And then it appends the history with that information, and then with the content. Basically, we're building the content for the user response here. And so this adds that to it. It's a list of the object. And then we try to create the response to the GPT-4o audio preview endpoint. And you can see we set the voice, we set that message's history response. And then we get back the transcript, and it will try to build the audio module. So basically decode the information, convert it back to something I can use for Gradio, so it'll actually be downloadable. And if it does, it just returns a transcript. So that is how this basically is put together. It's pretty simple. And I'm happy to answer any questions. If anyone has suggestions for further improvements or collaboration, definitely open to it. This is pretty simple, streamlined version just to kind of get you guys started. And I'm happy to help more. I'm trying to create more videos and create more interactive content. Everybody sees my daily podcasts that have AI, trying to constantly also improve those. So this is fun. I just don't get a lot of time to create videos, but if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll make more.